welcome back to my channel. I am Raul Art. Today I will show you a tutorial how to draw realistic eyebrow, and also we will learn how to build realistic skin. For this I choose 2H pencil from Faber-Castell, my Faber-Castell 0.5 4B grade, Tombow Mono 0 eraser. Also I will use this Faber-Castell eraser and blending stump for blending the skin. Let's start and jump into the tutorial how to draw realistic eyebrow. First of all, we need to find the shape, the perfect shape of eyebrow using blending stump. As you can see, I have already outlined, just blend with blending stump. We're blending very soft. As I told you in a previous tutorial for starting eyes, we're going for the other one because we're working together to draw the same on the same step. As you can see, we already start to draw realistic portrait of Marilyn Monroe. It will be in graphite pencil and we're using a bit of colored pencil. As you can see in eyes, already start blue indigo eyes. And now we prepare for eyebrow. How to prepare? First start to blend the place where the eyebrow should be. And now we can take mechanical pencil, and I will telling you I change from 2B grade on 4B grade. If you remember, I use 2B grade for the skin and now I change on 4B grade because we draw the eyebrow. How to draw the eyebrow? Very soft. We're using mechanical pencil, following the reference photo, and we try to go in close as same as picture. Following the reference photo, we try to find the best way to draw. As you can see, we start from right to left. You will see when I get in the corner, I'm going this different direction, and I will show you how. It's very important to know how. Follow my steps, guys, and make sure you see when I'm changing the direction of drawing. Now I will start from the bottom, in the corner of the eyebrow. Different way to go with the pencil. You can come in one more layer over so you can make more darker. But before to do this, we're using dry brush, the chopped one, and we brush over so we can add more realistic skin under the eyebrow. And we're brushing very slowly, exactly in that way how you draw. As you can see, the skin texture behind the eyebrow, it will change a little bit, making more realistic skin. For the same procedure, adding more visible, I'm using 4B grade with 0.5 lead from Faber-Castell mechanical pencil. You can use any mechanical pencil you have, but make sure you have a dark grade, for example 4B. I'm working over my tablet, so I try to find as close with the reference photo. Even if it's not really the same, try to imitate close as you can. You will see till the end very interesting lessons for how to draw realistic portrait. An easy way to learn. The final touch of eyebrow, it will be very soft with blending stump, so I can define the hair for eyebrow. I'm using blending stump number 2, and very soft I'm coming over to define and make softer hair for eyebrow. Again, blending stump, and we blend to know where to go. We prepare the place for work, but as I told you, this side will be all dark because of the shadow. Mechanical pencil, we're trying to find the middle from eyebrow to top of the nose, and we draw slowly. Remember, first layer soft, don't press with the pencil. Remember, guys, as you can see, I rotate a little bit so I can keep my refill sharp for better work. And now again we're using dry brush, blending the skin which is behind the eyebrow. And now again the same procedure with mechanical pencil, very soft over everything that we draw. And the last thing we're doing with blending stump, to blend and make them softer. I'm taking now the forehead skin. I'm using 2H for the beginning. We need some highlights to respect, so we're respecting the highlights. As I told you, this area will be shadowing darker, so I will change the grade. But before this, we need to know how to make this shade smooth, so I will using toilet paper. And we shade very slowly. Small rotations to mix the graphite with white paper. Prepare for the skin. Good to know, before to do this, we need to use this dotting tool because we will draw realistic hair on this portrait. Everything we need only to prepare the hair, to make the end of hair here more realistic. And you will see when I draw the skin, it will combine with this. You will see very interesting way to draw realistic hair. And again I'm going on to H, same grade for the second layer. And now if you see, for the second layer I'm going slowly, and I'm not using like this for big part of shade. So I'm looking now to make the shadow of the forehead. And here in the top where the hair is, you will see everything made by dotting tool. Now again guys, we're using toilet paper and we shade very soft. I'm using mechanical pencil, and by small circles try to find again the shadow on the skin. As you can see guys, here with mechanical pencil you can find a lot of way to shade skin. So now I find the shadows on the forehead. I'm using again toilet paper. I need to smooth everything, but because of this is only dark, I will use 8B grade, so it won't be necessary to go there with toilet paper. And also guys, as you can see, where I draw with dotting tool, everything will remain white and blonde hair. We will taking off more interesting parts now, adding the details of the skin. How to do this? Using eraser. I'm always using this eraser to highlighting and make the most realistic skin. Lining and dotting the skin, you will see easy way to make a perfect realistic skin. Also you have this supplier in my link description on YouTube. Now we need to looking for highlights, to highlighting the skin to make the difference between shadow and highlights. And now with blendings too, we blend very soft to soften the skin and make more smooth. So that's my way to draw realistic skin. Try to learn all steps, know how to draw this. If you like my technique, you can use my technique in your drawing. I'm coming with toilet paper, just very soft guys, and that way I'm not broke nothing what I draw, but I make smoother and softer. Now guys, with 8B grade I need to dark everything in this area, so I'm going very dark. Because it's very dark, we're going slowly making dark, and I will show you my way to make dark from the first step. And as you can see, I draw with dotting tool for some parts of the hair. I'm doing one more layer, that's the second one, and helping by dry brush I will get darker till I like how dark it is. As you can see here, I'm doing this all dark because everything is by shadow here. It will be very dark. So we need to coloring all this part of the forehead till we are happy with the dark color. Now I'm using the special tool because we're talking about the realistic hair in this portrait, and I'm using this beautiful supplier dotting tool. And also I need to draw how the hair is, and you will see when I draw with 8B grade, you will see realistic hair come out. I'm using this technique for animals hair, so you can use in your artwork. Now we have only shadow on this side, but today we're working only on skin. We finish the forehead and we go slowly we go to the bottom, and we draw the nose as well. We know where the hair is. We come back now with 8B grade, drawing the shadow from the forehead. Of course, respecting the reference photo. We can continue now very easy, as you can see, with 8B grade, and the hair is still there. I bring more graphite where it's shadowing, so I can cover even the unnecessary hair, and I let only the details visible. If you work with different pencils, try to use the last grade. If you do 2 or maximum 3 layers, it should be enough. I'm using 8B grade, is excellent grade, and as you can see guys, I'm keeping the hair visible and detailed. Big thank for your support guys on YouTube and Facebook. Also I appreciate on Instagram as well. So don't forget, let's draw together and learn how to draw realistic portrait. As you can see, I draw slowly the shadow who's coming from the forehead and hair. If you draw together with me, you will be happy how many things you can learn from me. Why not to share with you guys? Okay, where it's not very dark, we just dotting and we're moving the pencil very soft. Here we are happy with the skin texture. Of course, meeting with the dark shadow, building a gradient. Also, I'm coming darker on the eyebrow, guys. As I told you, this side of the portrait will be very dark and full of shadows. We need to losing here half of the eyebrow, only because of the shadow is too dark. As you can see, I'm going small circles for the first layer and I'm coming for the second layer. Also because it's very dark this side of the head, we're using dry brush. And as you can see, if I'm working by layers, I can coming how dark I like to be. And with this brush, we're blending very soft and the paper will remain smooth. And now with blending stump, I choose number 5. We're blending very soft and we combine the shadow slowly with making the realistic skin and give a good texture for the skin. I'm going slowly and rotating very small circles to make the skin more realistic. And for this side of the hair, we're using again dry brush, the chopped one, and we're shading very slowly. Don't worry, the hair will be visible even if you blend this. Also guys, don't forget, for more details you will see we're using Tombow Mono eraser to make the details more visible. Okay, we come back on mechanical pencil. I'm using 0.5 grip with 4B grade. Again, we come back for details. Very soft. Remember the position in your hand. As I told you, very soft because we're working the skin and we try to make the skin realistic as we can. On the left side we left just blank because we need a lot of highlights on this part of the head. And now guys, to make the skin soft, we're using toilet paper and very soft shadows. We smooth the shadows to make the details of the skin and of the head more visible. Of course, we're smoothing the paper in the same time. We're coming with eraser and looking for all highlights and details by dotting very slowly. Make the skin more realistic, only where the highlights are. You can use Tombow Mono eraser, or if you have this Perfection from Faber-Castell eraser. I'm always using this because it's very good to dotting and as you can see, help me to create very realistic skin without problem. But as I told you guys, you can use the same thing with Tombow Mono if you don't have this. Also guys, if you have full of graphite, clean your eraser on the blank paper and continue your work. And now slowly we can add the details through the eyebrow for the realistic skin, lining and dotting. As you can see, I'm looking for details of the skin, checking the reference photo always. Now guys, I tried to imitate the skin texture using eraser. If you're using Tombow Mono, just very soft, do the same as I do. I need more shadow, so just a little bit graphite. Now the forehead is almost finished with the details, with everything we need. Last step before to finish, I just wanna blend very soft with soft brush. If you work with eraser, don't forget to clean. And I'm using this type of brush, but very soft. As you can see, leaving the details of the skin visible and more realistic. As you can see, when I draw a realistic portrait, I can use a lot of type of suppliers. So if you want to buy, you can find them on Amazon or my link on YouTube description. So you can buy and work with them. We can move further now, and we're moving slowly on the cheeks, but we're starting to draw nose. I will show you how I draw nose. But as I told you guys, how dark is the shadow. Working layers, still you're happy with the shadows made. If I'm not happy with this side of the shadow, I'm coming one more layer with an 8B grade or the last grade in your set. As I told you guys, in the realistic portrait, the details make everything. And in this portrait I will show you how to put the details to create realistic portrait. To starting the nose, I'm using mechanical pencil 0.5 grip with 4B grade. I will start with dark area first and drawing the shape of the nose. And we're coloring because this side is dark. Also guys, if it's very dark you can use 8B grade, but I'm using mechanical pencil for better control. We clean all extra eraser to make the perfect shape. If you make the perfect shape from the beginning you don't need to erase, but it's better to erase for more. This one as well, like all this side is very dark. So as I told you, I can come in with 8B grade in 1 or 2 layers. This is a small part of the nose, it don't need too much work. And very easy and soft, using dry brush or blending stump. It's up to you. I'm coming with dry brush only for blending this side of the nose, but as I told you, very soft because it's a small part. And now we will draw slowly using technique of shadows, following the reference photo. For shadowing the nose, I have changed it with 2B grade for mechanical pencil, and you will see gradient of the nose will become more realistic, only changing the grades. Now we're looking for all possible details and shadows to build realistic nose of Tombow Mono. Remember the position of the pencil when you're shading, very important, so you can use and be more easy to use. Remember guys, this is not very easy portrait to draw, but we're doing slowly all necessary steps to make beautiful artwork and realistic portrait. It will be only part coloring, coloring the eyes and the mouth, and I will show you in the next tutorial how to coloring the lips to make them more realistic. Now as you can see, we have a line on the top of the nose. So we need to respect this as well, but very soft, because this line make all details for the nose. What's happened guys, if I still use 4B grade from mechanical pencil, it become more darker than necessary. So I change it with 2B, so I can go for the first layer, or only in case if I need darker I can change with 4B for the same work with details with the same grade. Small rotations, it's my favorite technique because I can go everywhere where I want, so I can make the shape of the nose more realistic. And as you can see guys, I left here white because I don't need to work on this area because of the highlights. You will see, if you're shading everything, the highlights will disappear. Remember how to keep the refill sharp. Always rotate the mechanical pencil in your hand, slowly till you're working, as I do. Now I'm coming with a second layer to make necessary shadows and also to give the shape of the nose more realistic. I'm working very slowly and carefully with all details so I can go close with the realism. Now guys, for this side of the nose I can use blending stump to blend, or soft brush if you remember, because this one will be very dark, so I work only this part now, and I will come back to finish the nose with the dark pencils. Let's use blending stump for the beginning. I'm using number 2. And very soft, I'm coming from the outline inside to make the skin of the nose more realistic. Also from the top we can blending very soft, bring the graphite from the line inside of the nose, leaving also the highlights visible so we can work later with them. We blend all necessary shadows to make the nose more shiny and realistic. As you can see, as I told you before, blending stump is very important plier in our artwork. Always when you work with blending stump, keep blending stump very clean. Try to sharp always so you can put more necessary details. Now as you can see here, I need to blend to make the skin round and realistic nose. So I'm coming from the dark, pushing the graphite outside just a little bit, how the reference photo shows us. And I'm coming a second layer because I need more darker, just moving very soft the pencil. Also you can dotting this part, and as you can see, slowly the nose of Merlin portrait, it will become more visible and more realistic, only adding more details step by step. Very soft with mechanical pencil for nose skin, and now we can use very soft blending stump again, and I'm using different technique now, like dotting, so I can mix the graphite to build a gradient of the skin. Also it needs to look like a realistic nose. Remember guys, I'm working this portrait on Canson Bristol paper, A3 size, 250 GCM and pure white, very soft and smooth paper. As you know guys, there's a lot of way to draw, but this is tutorial for my way to draw, and I'm using this technique for all my portraits, and I'm improve myself with each portrait I draw. Now we need more shadows, but very small though, because now we need to work on a nose skin texture, adding details and highlights. And as I told you guys, it will be very dark on the other side, so we need to make sure we make a difference between the graphite, like dark one and shiny. Again, we will using blending stump for the last time with the same procedure of dotting. Very soft, so don't broke our work we did already. Remember guys, cover your work, keep your work clean till the end of the portrait. Now I'm adding more detail of this nose, and it's about the highlights, and you already know how to add the highlights using eraser. As you can see, I didn't do nothing here because it's very dark, so I will work with 8B grade, finish the shape of the nose. I'm concentrating now more on the lighter side, adding details, and I'm changing now for Tombow Mono 0. And by dotting very light, we're adding some details for the nose and highlighting the nose to make the pores more realistic, as I did on the top of the head, and highlighting this more for better shiny of the nose. As you can see, it will become more realistic step by step with each details we bring. Also, Tombow Mono 0 eraser is very necessary in our realistic drawing supplier. Make sure it's sharp and clean when you use eraser. I'm always check the reference photo. I like to be almost the same. Now I'm imitate this side of the nose to make shiny. Also, we bring the graphite inside to make the nose more round. And we just blend a little bit where the highlights are. Just few of them to build the realistic pores, and from the top it will come in with dark shadow, so we don't need to worry about that. It will be very dark shadow here. Now we're working slowly for this side as well. We need to work very soft to maintain the highlights and shadow also. I'm using small circles, and I try to build a realistic nose even if it's in shadow. And with blending stump, we make this more realistic, combine the grade to build a gradient. If you remember how to build a gradient, we combine from dark to light, very soft, making the perfect nose. Now for these highlights, I will clean with eraser, only for this part. And I can work with 8B grade now to build a shadow. Also, I'll try to keep in layers. I'm not pressing from the beginning, so it's very important guys to don't press with the pencil, try to work in layers. As you can see, I'm going slowly in layers till I find the perfect shape and realistic shadow visible. If I'm happy with this, I can come in with one more layer and start to dark this side of the nose till I'm happy with the gradient. We're coloring inside of the eye, respecting the highlights. Also guys, to make more realistic, you can use jelly roll, dotting just a little bit to make the highlights more expressive, more visible. I will use electric eraser only for dotting. so I can let more visible details. And now using 8B, I continue to make the shadow, even if the eye is hard to see. It's low visible on this side of the eye, but we draw as it is. And we're correcting with the shadows all around of the eye to making like our reference photo. As I told you, this side of the portrait, most of the shadow will cover our portrait. Still using 8B for shadowing, and as you've seen, I work in layers to gain darkest shadows. Always keep an eye on the reference photo and try to learn how to change the pencil to make a realistic portrait. If you have dark, use the highest grade. If you have light, use the first grade in your set, starting with 2H. And don't forget to leave blank for the highlights to make the highlights more easy and more visible. As you can see, I'm working in layers. This is the third layer when I'm still working on this part. So I can come in more time with the pencil. I can make darker till I'm happy with the dark draw. If you like to draw with me, stay with me, because we will finish this portrait till the end and will be very interesting parts to draw and to learn in this portrait. I'm happy with the shadow. Now I'm coming with dry brush, and also this gives me dark texture on the skin and it'll smoothen the paper. Also, this step you can do with blending stump if you don't have this brush, but you need to make more layers. If you have this kind of brush, as you can see, it's becoming very dark very quick. I use this technique for That Girl with a Moto and also Dwayne Johnson portrait. Now you know how to draw to make shadows without breaking the paper, of course. Everything to know is to work in layers. If you work in layers, you will gain your favorite color of your gradient. As you can see, very helpful this small supplier, small brush, helped me very good to define the black, the shadows and the shape of the head, making more realistic skin. Remember the position of the pencil and try to go small circles to keep the details visible. As I did in this part, we're working in 2 or 3 layers to gain dark to light. This is the second layer, and as you can see, the skin becomes darker just where I need to keep the details always as reference photo. Now a bit blending stump, and I'm using the same technique, dotting and lining till I'm happy with the skin. Big thank to everyone, guys. This is finished for the second part. Hope you find my skill and technique good to learn. Use in your artwork from now. Of course, we don't forget about the eraser to make all highlights visible like I did on the forehead. We're taking the reference photo and we're lining and dotting as necessary parts where we need. As I told you, eraser and blending stump doing great job. But if you combine all suppliers together, you can make brilliant artwork. This is only the beginning of the portrait, so we'll have more to learn. Take care, guys. Bye bye.